going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Pyro, and today, I'm going to teach you how to weld a radiator. So, yesterday, I had a new radiator I was going to put into my 72 Plymouth Duster, and what ended up happening was that the one I purchased is too big, so I bought it 155 days ago, so therefore it's too far gone now. I can't return it. So, with that being said, I decided to fix the old one. So I'm going to take you through the process of what I did to try to fix the old one, because I'm going to do that with you right now. And if this video doesn't work, you won't ever see it. So here's the radiator. This is the one I bought off of Rock Auto. And so let me see if I can take you through these steps. I'm going to grab my stool. And so the tools you'll need here are some needle nose pliers, some map gas, and some brazing rods. And sorry, it was cold this morning and I was playing with my grill. Today is Super Bowl Sunday. So let me show you what I did real quick, okay? So here's the infected area, and as you can see, there's a hole right there. Now this one right here is just a dent, okay? Now these fins right here, those are cooling fins for when the water is coming through. It cools the water down better. So what I did was I yanked them out, which it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's just these two tubes right here. That won't get the maximum amount of cooling, but you know what, that's okay. Here is my my map gas with my torch tip, and so I'll need that, and also I'll need a lighter, and then something to clean this area with. For me, I used this guy here, a steel wire brush on a chuck, so that way I can use my fancy drill, right? I need that. So I've already cleaned the area, and now we're about to heat this up and use our fancy brazing rods that already have flux on them. So it's like a big giant soldering, gun here, and yeah, big old welding rod, you know. So let me put you on the pause real quick. Let me get my camera set up so that way I can do this whole thing with you guys watching, and hopefully we can fix that hole right there. But we'll see what happens. Okay, quick pause. All right, so I got my map gas and I got my brazing rod, and so now I'm gonna take you down so that way I can show you the whole process of how this works, okay? You won't see me, but you'll see the work, so I'm pretty sure that's what you want, so here we go. Let me tilt this down here, right there maybe. Tighten up this guy. Maybe, can I zoom in with the video? I can, ha ha ha. All right, so with the map gas, see this little tip right here? We're gonna turn it on and then hit it with a lighter. Just be very careful because this stuff's really dangerous. All right, here we go. We got our little blue flame going on, and all we're gonna do is we're just gonna heat up this area real good. And then we're going to use this brazing rod, okay? So as you can see, it's getting real hot, real fast. Now the MAP gas burns a lot hotter than regular propane. So if you're using propane, you might be here just a little bit longer than using MAP gas. Now the hottest point of this flame is at the very tip right here at the blue, right there. That's the hottest point of this flame. Now if you don't have any of this stuff, you can easily buy it, but it is a little expensive. MAP gas is a little expensive. So that's why it's probably better you just go to a welding or a radiator shop. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm heating it up and then I'm dabbing it on. Heat it up, dab it on. Smoothing it out, trying to make it work into those crevices. So as you can see right here, when I heat it up, it's liquefied. As it dries, it gets real hard really fast. So I want to go on all the sides of the product. And I'm doing this on a couple of workhorses so I don't make a big old mess on a plastic table or anything like that. You can see it starts getting nice and liquidy. Just going to hit it with my rod, fill it in a little bit. Now you got to be careful with this because you see how the rod is getting real thin now. And that's okay. You just got to make sure that you do this well. So right now I got a lot of pulling going on. And then when we're done here with this part, I'm going to try to pressure test it and see if I can get the good pressure level in there. Now this doesn't work all the time. This is one of those things, it may or may not work. You just have to keep trying, keep at it. So I like to get the stuff on there. And then I like to smooth it out. You can see there's a big old ball right there that just came out of this area here I was working on. Alright, so that might be good right there, hopefully. Let me just give it a little bit more right here. Alright, turn my gas off. Blowing my rod because it's real hot. Ooh, look at this is all I got left out of that big old piece of rod. But as you can see, yeah, it's a hot mess, but doesn't look like there's any holes in there anymore. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to pressure test this, and let me figure out a way to do that, and then I'll get right back to you guys, okay? Give me just a quick second. Alright, so at this point what I did was I decided to clean up the area just a little bit more to see if I could not necessarily make it better, but if I could just clean it up better. So all of this is that ribbon I was telling you about, that the air ribbon stuff. And all I did was took these needle nose pliers here, and I went in here like this. I grabbed them and yanked them out. Yeah, so now this whole little area is, this whole stuff needs to be cut off, because if we don't cut it off, it's going to take the entire ribbon strand out, and we don't want that. We just want this little infected area to be clean and clear, okay? So let me do all that real quick, and I'll be right with you. Give me a second. So I have this pressure tester here. This is for radiators and radiator caps, and it's a Matco pressure tester. And yeah, all it is like a little baby bicycle pump, and you pump it up and it pressurizes the system. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these little fittings here. I'm going to cover them with plastic, like a paper bag, and rubber bands or zip ties. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some soapy water. I'm going to pressurize this thing to whatever the cap tells me the pressure should be. And then what I'm going to do is see if any leaks come out of there. So hopefully what I just did worked. And we're going to go on from there, okay? So let me go find all that stuff, and I'll be with you in a few. All right, so what we got here is a plastic bag with electrical tape, because I didn't have any rubber bands. So that goes over the lower cooler lines, or the transmission cooler lines, the lower radiator hose inlet or outlet, and then the upper radiator hose inlet. And then this guy right here is going to get filled with the tester over there. So let me take you over here to the tester real quick. And the good thing about this tester is it's made for, you know, all types of radiators and stuff like that. So this right here just happens to be the right size for my radiator, which is really nice. So we'll put this on there because it goes on there just like a regular radiator cap. Just like that, and then it twists on there, and then it locks into place, and that's it. She's on there now. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna pump it up. You know, better yet, let me put you on the tripod, because this is a workout for me by myself. There we go. Holy moly, I forgot my soapy water. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. This is soapy water, I think, unless it's just regular water. Oh, some sort of water. Gross. Oh man, okay, so we're leaking. Leaking somewhere over here. Oh, from the bottom. I didn't even do the bottom, guy. All right, so we'll flip this thing over, and then we'll see what it looks like from the bottom, and then we'll get back to you from there. So let me flip this bad boy over, and then see if I might have to do it from the bottom. Luckily for me, this thing comes with 2 brazing rods. Hey-oh. Okay, hold on a second. So I flipped her over and look what I see. A huge hole. Oh my goodness. All right, well, let me get the stuff set up and see if I can get that fixed real quick. I'm gonna get some compressed air and blow it out to dry it up a little bit because I did spray a lot of water on there. So, yep, give me just a second. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take the needle nose pliers and I'm gonna squeeze those two pieces together so that I don't waste a lot of rod and filler material. So I got a new rod here, okay? And like I said, I'm just gonna try to squeeze those together. See, because this here, this one is one row, right? When they ask you, do you have a single row, a 2-row, or a 3-row radiator? What they're talking about is how many vanes do you have that carry the water. And here we have a 2-row radiator, which isn't great, but it's not bad either. Okay, so I can't get my pliers in there, so I'm just gonna have to try to braze it on top. And once again, I'm gonna use the MAP gas, and I was gonna use compressed air to dry it off, but well, I have the MAP gas here, so I might as well just use that. So here we go, MAP gassing it up, right? Now I'm gonna stand on this side of you guys, so that way maybe you can see it. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to get the best view possible for you guys, but it's really hard because this is past the second row on the back side. So we'll see. We will see. All right, so I just covered a little piece of it. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'm just gonna let it dry for a second, right, before I go at it again with another little bit of heat. All right. So right now it's still liquid. Almost got it covered whole. Oh, don't fall. Let me get on the other side. Oh man, this side's got a big hole too. Okay, so got a lot of slag going off, which is unclean material. So I think we might be looking all right. Maybe. I'm just going to fill this in with a lot of material in hopes that it gets into the crevices where I need it to be. Now this stuff is falling on the floor because I'm using excess, but it's all right as long as I fill that hole. Now you want to be very careful with this because this MAP gas is extremely hot. You don't want to get that nowhere on you because it will burn the heck out of you. Now, if this doesn't work, what we can do is we can take this entire row and delete it, which means that we'll have to cut it out and the radiator won't be using that row anymore. It's unfortunate, but sometimes that does happen. So I'm gonna grab my pliers here because this little bit is getting a little warm. Not hot, but warm. And I'm gonna use it like a welding rod. And like I said before, I'm overfilling, so just trying to make sure that this material gets in where it needs to get. Ooh. All right. So let's see here. Oh my goodness, I lost a whole piece on that one. So it's all right. All right, so I bought more of these brazing rods here, and just in case if stupid crap like this happens. So, which it did, and it's okay. I'm not mad about it. You know, this stuff does happen sometimes. So, once again, heat this part up. And the problem is that it's on that second row down on the bottom, so it's really hard to get to. There's a little guy right here too that needs to be touched up. So what's happening is I'm not heating up the metal, I'm heating up the rod, and it's kicking my rod off too soon. There we go. All right. So once again, turn off the map gas, and let's see if I can pressurize this thing up, and hopefully it holds pressure this time. Let's see. Because once again, if this one doesn't work, then I'm going to have to cut those out completely and just delete that from the whole system. Which I really don't want to do, but if I have to, I have to. Because this radiator, I can't purchase another one. Oh, where's my water? Nope, same thing. So I'm going to have to delete it. So I guess what I'm going to be showing you is a complete fail of this, and yeah. Let me show you how to delete it. Give me just a second. Alright, so to remove those two pieces, what you're going to need is some of these, your little cutters, and you're just going to try to find the middle, and you're going to try to cut it as best you can on both sides now, because that's the infected area, and this is probably the simplest thing you can possibly do. You're going to grab your needle nose pliers here. You're going to grab one little corner here, closest to the edge, as close to the edge as possible, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to twist it on itself. And if it lets you. This thing was heated so much that, look at it, it's just old and brittle now. So pretty much what you're doing is you're just folding it on itself, so that way it can create an airtight seal. Now they do this in the HVAC world as well. It's called crimping lines, I believe. And all you're doing is you're just crimping this to where you're not allowing any air to go past. And you're going to do that with this side as well. You're going to get a nice cleaner cut. There we go. So you do it like this, right? And then if you can, go back on itself the other direction. The crappy part is I was really hoping that this was going to work, because this is an old radiator. This is out of a 1972, so they don't make them like this anymore. So there's that one. Now I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. Now remember, this is not ideal to do this, but this will work. So let me flip it over and see if we can do the other side. Now while you're doing this, try not to mess anything else up. Bad enough we messed the first one up. Don't do it to the second one. Can you see that? The affected area? Yeah, I think you can. Looks good to me. Alright. So then, take this guy closest to the edge, give it a little twist. Now you see why you want to go to the very edge is because if pieces break off, then you can clip it and start over. So the only problem with this is that you won't have water going through these two water veins. Like I said, it's not ideal, but you can do it. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, that one needs to be cut. There we go. So let's get all this little bit out of here, all these little pieces of cooling fins. So with these ones, they're so brittle, they're little pieces of copper. You can actually cut those out with a pair of house scissors. Just make sure you don't cut anything else. It's not supposed to be cut. See, look. There we go. There goes that. Yeah, this bottom one came out a lot nicer than that top one did. All right, let's turn it over and see if we can make that top one a little better. Ugh. So the good thing is once you crimp it, you can actually take that excess, clean it off, because you don't need it anymore. So if this still leaks, what you'll do is you'll roll it more. So let's put our pressure tester on there with our fancy water. So I just deleted a whole row. That's crazy, isn't it? It's insane. There we go. It's no joke around here at the Pyro Garage, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Especially if you order the wrong part. All right, here we go. Let's see. Oh, I'm leaking from somewhere else. Let me go put some more soap in this water. I'll be right back. All right, I got my soapy water mix here, and just gonna spray it all over this thing here, just to saturate it and see if we got any leaks coming through. Well, it looks all right for right now. See anything coming out yet, so that's good. Except for on my plastic bags and everything else that I covered with electrical tape and plastic bags, so that's good. Yep, it looks like we're going to be good to go. So there you go, people. So I've just shown you how to try and and braze or use a brazing rod to fix a radiator, and it didn't work. Like I said, radiator is old, man. Maybe I applied too much heat. Maybe I did too much brazing rod at one time, but yeah, it happens. So I just deleted the affected area, and so let me take this off here. And as you can see, there's a big gaping hole, but I did crimp those over top of each other, okay? And yeah, so now they're leak free. The only difference is out of all of these rows where water can pass, water will not get past these two rows. So now the thing we got to do is clean the radiator out 100%, so that way we can have a clean radiator going back into the car. So with that being said, I hope this was helpful. It wasn't successful for me, so it was an epic fail, which will be fine. I'll take my lumps, that's okay, and we'll move on. So I want to see if I can put this back in service and then go drive my car around. So you guys have a good day, and remember, if I can do it, you can do it. See you guys later. Have a good evening. Bye.